Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Nelson for Catholic Newsbreak. Here's what's happening this week in the news. We begin from the Vatican. The Pope has returned from his summer vacation and is getting back to his busy schedule at the Vatican, including meeting with prelates from Indonesia this week. He also gave Sunday's Angelus in St. Peter's Square, where he told pilgrims gathered that guardian angels exist to protect every human life from its beginning to end. Sunday marked the Feast of Guardian Angels. During the Angelus, the Pope asked for prayers for all the protection of all those who do the Lord's work, especially for those who face religious intolerance. Catholic News Service has more on the Angelus.
Pope Benedict is finally back from his summer vacation at the papal villa in Castel Gandolfo. For the past 2 years, the Pope no longer vacations in the Northern Alps, and instead he is stuck closer to home in Rome. The Pope has said the papal villa in the small hill town of Castel Gandolfo is a place where he can enjoy the silence and the beauty of nature and get caught up on his writing projects. The word going around is the Pope is just about finished with his third and final volume of his Jesus of Nazareth series. Now, the Pope was away from the Vatican for nearly 3 months, with sporadic brief trips back to Rome for several Wednesday general audiences. Now that he's back, he's returning to his usual routine with meeting heads of the Roman Curia and bishops visiting the Vatican. This week, for example, are prelates from Indonesia. He's also back to giving the Angelus address from his studio window overlooking St. Peter's Square. And yesterday on the Feast of the Guardian Angels, the Pope talked about guardian angels. He said guardian angels exist to protect every single human life from its very beginning. God uses these unique ministers, he said, to protect people on their earthly journey and to be a sign of God's care and concern for all people.
Looking now at other news from the Vatican, the new prefect of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples, Archbishop Fernando Foloni, says Catholics are improving the lives of the poor and promoting dialogue when they financially and spiritually support missionary work. The Archbishop, who was appointed in May to head the Vatican congregation responsible for the church and mission territories, said evangelization always promotes the development of peoples. His remarks came from an interview on the importance of the church's observation of October as a month dedicated to the missions. Archbishop Foloni said all of the baptized have a responsibility for mission. He said in defending the principles of the gospel, one must speak of justice, which many of the countries in the mission lands need. The Archbishop also said that evangelization promotes ecology, helping make known and increasing respect for the environment, both on the part of the local population as well as on our own. World Mission Sunday is October 23rd. One other note from the Vatican, World Communications Day may celebrate interaction and exchange through all different types of media, but all the Pope wants for the 2012 celebrations is silence. Rome Reports explains the Pope's focus for next May's World Communications Day.
The Vatican is getting ready for the next World Communication Day. The theme is Silence and Word, and the message is specifically aimed at journalists. The topic is meant to remind journalists to take a step back from modern technology and the constant flow of information. Silence, says the Vatican, opens a window for reflection. It even invites people to engage in conversations that in turn can help promote the new evangelization. The celebration goes back to 1963, when it was launched by the Second Vatican Council. Decades later, it's still celebrated in most countries. World Communication Day is officially celebrated on the Sunday before Pentecost, which next year will be May 20th, 2012. Traditionally, the Pope's reflection is usually made public on January 24th, the feast day of the patron of writers.
In news from around the country, Bishop Mark Barczyk of Altoona, Johnstown, Pennsylvania, recently blessed the cornerstone and the steeple cross of the Suzanne Paterno Catholic Student Faith Center at Penn State University. In his comments, the bishop said that it was marvelous to be in this space, which will soon truly become a sacred space. Within a year, the framed-out room will house the center's chapel. The center was named for the wife of Penn State football coach Joe Paterno. It is meant to recognize the Paterno family's financial support of the project, but more importantly, Mrs. Paterno's commitment to the Catholic faith and her active participation in the life of the Penn State Catholic community. Benedictine Father Matthew Laffey, the campus ministry director, made the welcoming remarks during the ceremony, saying, "Today we take another step to fulfilling our dream of a home for Catholic students on campus." And finally in the news, the U.S. bishops have established a committee to shape public policy and coordinate the Church's response to government policies that promote contraception, abortion and same-sex marriage, and policies that amount to an assault on religious freedom. The Ad Hoc Committee for Religious Liberty was announced by New York's Archbishop Timothy Dolan, president of the USCCB. Bishop William Laurie of Bridgeport, Connecticut, chairman of the new committee, explained the motivation for its formation, saying there is a common and factually grounded perception that religious liberty is increasingly under assault at the state and federal level in the United States, whether through unfriendly legislation or through rules and regulations that impede or tend to impede the work of the Church. Over the last year, Bishop Laurie has publicly defended religious liberty. In October of 2010, he issued Let Freedom Ring, a pastoral letter on religious freedom, which laid out an argument that some legislative efforts in the government seem to be aimed solely at the Catholic Church. Well, that is all the information we have for you at this time. Please stay with Catholic TV for more Catholic news. Until then, I'm Kevin Nelson, and I'll see you next time on Catholic Newsbreak.